It's about time to upgrade my storage. So you see right here is one of my unused 2 TB Hitachi drives I have. And this guy here is an empty tray. So essentially I want to save some power by mainly shutting off these two guys. These two servers here. I can't move the GPU over, but I can move everything else over pretty easily. So I have 4 more open bays in that server. I got 2 more trays like these, and I have to pull 3 more drives out. This guy isn't used right now, and I got all of his data pulled off. I'm still pulling the data off of these guys here, these 2, or these 3 drives, which is stored on Lizard FS right now, which, I know I suck at focusing. You could see those endangered chunks that still need to be copied off of those drives, and made 2 copies, then I can remove them. We're going to copy them over on the new server once we're ready, so if we reload it, and get it focused, there we go, we got about 104,000 of them left. So 104,000 chunks, which is probably roughly a couple hundred gigs, will be copied off. So I'm going to have to screw this guy into his tray, and then we're going to configure the RAID using the hardware RAID controller on that server, because it has one, and there is a non-software RAID if you have one of those. So the rest of the data is already migrated. I have the rest of the trays here. I only have one of these metal pieces. I don't even know why they were really included, but I have the rest of these trays here from HP. I got a bin of generic screws, which hopefully will work for hard drives. And I got a pile of hard drives here. And the camera shot's probably completely horrible. But as you could probably see, there's a ton of hard drives here. It's all of these guys. You unplug them. They've all been unmounted already, so I can just pop them right out. The system supports hot swap, so I don't have to worry about anything. Some of these are the latches, which kind of annoys me. Now, these things are a pain to pull out. Suckers don't want to come. Here it comes. There it goes. And this is another one of those Hitachi drives. 2 TB. And all labeled, and I have 4 of them, so I'm going to get them all in trays now. And here they all are in their pretty little trays. Time to get them all put into the servers. I already installed one of the front ones just for testing earlier. Now I have to install the other one, so with one hand. These front little pieces aren't in tight enough. I don't think it has enough screws or something it's picky about. But, oh boy, this guy doesn't want to go in. This is better than the Dell trays in my 2950, which barely want to go in. Not much better though. Here we go. And there should be a light on in a minute. It takes a while to scan for them. We have 2 more on the back. See those 2 spots right there? And that's supposed to fall over like that. But these guys pop out like this. These are empty trays, or they're blanks, just to take up the spot and keep air from going through when it's not supposed to. So these guys then pop right in. Ooh, this is a complete mess in this server. I need to clean it out one day. There it goes. There's one. And this is a SAS expander, so you're limited to, I think, 12 or 24 gigabit going to all these drives. So technically, you might be actually limited by that single link, but I only have a gigabit network going to this guy. And the mechanical hard drives. Lights should be sputtering on, otherwise I'm going to have to poke them a bit, because sometimes they can be a little finicky here. But we're going to go on my computer and see if we see them all. So the next thing we want to do is create a new RAID 5, which is no CTRL slot equals 1. So apparently the drive is on slot 1 for this server. Create type equals LD, so logical drive, which is made up of the physical drives. Drives equals, so it's going to be these drives here, which we're going to do. So that's 1 I colon 1 colon. No, I did something like 1:7. I just put commas between them, so then we have 1 I colon 1 colon 10, and this is like, okay, so the first number I think is like the bay, yeah, so it's the port number. So if you had multiple RAID cards, and then it's the bay, it's the box number. So if I connected an external like SAS box on my system, like a Lenovo SA120 or Dell MD1000. And then the next one is the actual physical port, which is the location in the server. So this makes it really easy. So if I know which one fails, I can just go take out that drive, which is a pain in the butt on consumer boards where if you have multiple drives, you don't know what port they're plugged into or which physical drive it is. Unless you like look at firmware numbers, and if you die, sometimes you just can't see like serial numbers at all. 1:14. So if I'm right, it should be 710, and I put 10 in twice. Oops. You got 7, 10, 13, 14. That's all of them. 1T1, 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 1T1. And yeah. And then you have to tell it the RAID level, so we're going to do RAID equals 5, which for 4 disks definitely makes the most sense. So it's now working on creating an array. A RAID 5 should be fairly fast, just writing a few headers, and it's done. Show all config. We see we have a logical drive, 5.5 terabytes, so let's go to the next page here in this guy. So if we run ls-blk, we see we have a new SDD partition here, which is this. So we can now do disk/dev/. So we have dev mapper on here, so you have to use device mapper numbers. So we do gdisk on here. We're going to make a new partition table. Command new. So here's a partition. We're going to have 5.5 terabyte. It's writing data to the drive to do part probe for the system to redetect the partitions. To do ls-blk, it should see that we have one partition, but I had it testing with one drive, so it seems to be thinking it's a 1.8er. How can I get past this? That's gonna be a pain. So if I do part x/dev/mapper C1, it shows I have a 5.5 terabyte file system, but the kernel isn't going to update its partition table unless I reboot. It seems I have this issue, or if I take the drive out and have a different drive replace it. So I either have to offline that, I'd have to delete the array, and then I'd have to put like a USB stick in if I want to reset it. That's annoying. Because it's not going to reload the partition table. Or I have to reboot it. Rebooting would also work, which is annoying, but I don't really want to reboot this system right now. So it looks like I'm going down the route of putting a USB stick in, unmounting it. Okay, let's just try. So if we do, okay, we're using LVM on here. So we're gonna do pv create /dev/mapper/30c1p1. Yeah. Okay. So we do pv display. Yeah, and it's saying 1.82 terabytes, so it is screwing up because it's looking at the partition table in that instead of actually looking at the real partition. And this is kind of due to dev mapper, and you have to have dev mapper to use over. I've done some basic things to try to disable it, and yeah, it's annoying. So off camera, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to what am I gonna do? I'm going to delete the I'm going to delete this. I'm going to delete the RAID array. I'm going to delete the RAID array. I'm going to go remove this RAID array. So we're going to do ctrl control slot equals 1 LD LD4. You gotta make sure this is the right one, otherwise you're going to screw up a lot of data. And then we're going to delete, and now we've deleted the drive. This will destroy all the data on the drives, and then you can potentially recover it, but you deleted the headers and it's a pain about to do it. So now if we do a show all config, we notice that we have a ton of unassigned drives, and if we go back to ls-blk, we notice it's not here anymore. So now we put a USB stick in it, it's going to see the USB stick, and hopefully it's going to remap the partition table to the USB stick, and then it's going to see a new drive. And I put a USB flash drive in, which means you can see right now SDD, which was taken up by the RAID array, is now taken up by the random flash drive I had laying around. So now I go back down there, take the flash drive out. Guess I don't have to, but I might as well. And then I mount it, and it should pop back on SDD with the correct partition tables. And this whole problem here was only caused because I wanted to experiment with the RAID array earlier. So right now if I go create the RAID array again, it should do just fine. Takes a second again. And we show config, we have a new RAID array again, same position. LSBOK will show us the RAID array again. And then, it doesn't have any partitions, so we can do gdis/dev/ mapper 3 and then C7. You go here, new partition table, yes. You do proceed, and you do O, yes, new, enter. Print if you want to see what you can do, then write it. You just put partition table, LSBOK, should show it. We have to do part probe. You can only modify the partition table once before dev mapper does it. So LSBOK should show the change now, then we do pv create, which is going to create a physical volume for LVM. So we do /dev/mapper/36C7 P1, or just one, I think, yeah. So now you can do pv display, shows you have your new partition table right here. And then you do vg create. I could add it to an existing volume array. I'm choosing not to. I'm gonna do vg create. We're gonna call it 2tb 6tb Hitachi, sure. /dev/mapper/ I think you have to do it. I'm not for sure about my. Yeah, okay, so we do vg display, and we should have a 6-terabyte Hitachi. I seem to just use LVM for everything because it works a lot better than using physical partitions. And then we have this. We want to do LV. Logical volume is what goes inside volume creates, and LV create. Not just show me the help menu there. Oh boy, that's a long thing. Yeah, there's the help menu. Oh, that's annoying. You don't show me the exact order that I'm supposed to use in. Looks like I'm gonna have to look online. Okay, so LV create, and then you do -L, which is apparently size. And you can use G and L and stuff like that. So we're gonna do, can you just do full? Yes, you can. You can do 100% FREE. We can call it name, or we're gonna do 6TB TACHI. Hitachi for name, and then we're gonna do for volume group, we're gonna do 6TB ACHI. Apparently I can't do that. Can't do 100% free. Can I do VG here? Apparently according to this online guide I can. Maybe I can just do 5.5T. Would do it. I should just add. I'll do that. Oh, I should just add stuff. And 5.4T. And I'll expand it later. You can do live expanding and stuff like this. Yeah. Okay, so now if I run LSBOK, it'll show me here I have the 6-terabyte Hitachi drive, which I don't really care. I do make fs/mnt/6tb HI 6-terabyte Hitachi. So we just made it. Oh, not mkfs, mk. We made a directory here, so then we're going to do edit etc fstab. Fstab is where, this is where all the, this is how it tells you how to mount stuff on boot up. Dev, can't do autocomplete, mapper, 6, HITACHI /6TBHI, and then we're going to do /MMT/6TB HITACHI. Hitachi, and then we're gonna do XFS as a file system. We haven't made the file system yet, so you can't tell it from out yet. Defaults. I should set it up so that it doesn't automatically no wait time. LTS, but it's fine. DEFAU LTS. Okay, so by default it won't boot the system unless it can mount these partitions. We're gonna do nkfs.xfs/dev/mapper/6tb Hitachi. Okay, cool. So we just made a file system here, and then we can tell it to mount it with mount-a. And it should, if I'm right here, 6 terabyte Hitachi. So we want to do change own -hog Brandon /mnt/6 terabyte Hitachi. So now I own it. And then if I want to add like a Samba shell by default or something like that, I can go under vi/etc/samba smb.conf. So we're gonna call this one 6 TB Hitachi. ACHI, as we are getting very creative with our naming today. We're going to do path. This is the path of the drive, so we're going to do mmt/6 TB Hitachi, and then we're going to do WITBA writable. I think this is on by default, but we're just going to make sure we set it to yes. Guest OK equals no. I don't want anyone who's guessed to use it, and we're going to do valid VLID users equals brand. I think that works. I'm also gonna make an NFS and maybe a Samba there, but I don't want to restart NFS because of how Over is using it. Yeah, I should set up more servers. Make it better. Now this should work and give me if I go into this system here, map a network drive, we go /192.168.1.23/6 TB. I forget if it's, and yeah, alright, there we go, we have it. And for testing purposes, if I want to copy files to it, I have my video projects file, which has all the videos I've been editing here. For this thing, we can see here if I open up Task Manager, which apparently crashes all the time. I have to restart it on my system, which is dumb. It's Task Manager, you shouldn't have to do that. We can see here, it's peeking out my network card and writing. If we want to do a few more benchmarks for fun on here, copying at full speed. So we can do, okay. So here's glances. I just found about this recently. I keep finding about all these like little programs that are so cool recently. So it's SDD, and we can see we are writing at 180 megs per second. It's probably using caches. So now it's 70, so it's using the RAM cache. So it isn't dumping at all. So if we open IOTop, okay, so IOTop shows you all that. So the total disk write is how much data it says is being written at any given time. So right now it's 112, which is the max speed of a gigabit network connection. And you can technically go to like 117 theoretically, but it's about as high as you get. The actual time is how much is actually being written. And because you have caches, as this will show here, because memory, we're using cache and buffers. Using 12.3 gigs cache, because my actual free memory, glances isn't that great when it comes to memory. So if we do each top, which does memory stuff a lot better, we can see here the actual amount of free memory, which glances apparently shows cached as free, because technically you can override it instantly and it's perfectly fine. I think buffers is write buffers, caches is read cache. If I'm right, I probably am not. But we can see there's actually basically no free memory on the server at all. So it's copying it there. And then we see Samba, it's using actually like 47% of the CPU. That is, remember, one core from the CPU. This guy has 16 threads. So it's actually using a fair amount of CPU to copy. What else can we do? Okay, so let's do another fun thing. Okay, my remote desktop session's ended. So we're gonna fire it up in a remote desktop. And why we're doing this right now is because this guy right here is a virtual machine that we're looking at right now on a it has to reset all the stuff because I connected it to another system that doesn't support the enhanced experience, which gives you error. You have to be running Enterprise to do this, but okay. Some other random file. from school. Okay, so if I open this up, I can do map network drive, and it's the exact same 192.168.23/6. I've always had better luck just logging it in like this. I've never really had issues. Oh, I can't use one. Oops, that's how I name my drives internally. Yeah, that should work. Okay, cool, it does. So now, it is saying I'm copying stuff to it. So if I open a disk, if I open this guy up, it takes a second, it's my B drive on this system as well. I'm copying data to it. Full speed, let's just cancel that though. So if we open, wrong server. That's my domain controller. So here we go. We open it. Crystal Disk Info hasn't opened the new one yet? Oh yeah, it should be. I think it's launching it. It just takes a while for no stupid reason. So if we open a new window, documents, Crystal Disk Map should open a new window. I know it's trying. Sometimes it takes a while and pumps them all out. I'm going to show you this guy because this guy's on a virtual machine on the same server. It should show you more of the theoretical speeds. Do I have HD Tune on here? I think I do. HD Tune. No, I don't. So HD Tune can run a quick little benchmark that shows read speeds. What is it? It's like HD something. It's not HD Tune. HD. I forget the program name. It shows you that. But the lazy way you can do it is you can do ddif equals /images. 6 terabyte. Oh, what folders do I have? 277.mlb. Yeah, okay, so then I can do of equals /dev/null. This would just put it into nothing. Basically shows me that, and then block size equals 64 M, which is how big the copy each block. Let's use capitals apparently. So this is dumping that file into null, which is nothingness. Stop opening I do. So we can see that's actually not using much CPU. But there you go. 520 megs a second? Wow, that thing's fast. There gotta be some caching in that though. Almost guaranteeing there should be another Crystal Disk open. Yep, there's 2 of them open, which I opened. So here's the V drive. We're going to set this to a big file, and I'll come back once it's finished, which might take a minute. And we can see this guy. This guy has a virtual 10 gigabit network adapter, and we're easily going past 10 gig. It's not actually benchmarking, it's just creating a random file right now. So here's the results over the SMB over wired over on the internal 10 gigabit network in a VM. We're seeing quite a bit better performance at 190 megs peak read and about 150 write. Probably looking at my other arrays on the server, I could probably get 400-ish over NFS or iSCSI on an internal network, or 10 gigabit if I had that. So now, basically, I'm going to connect it with the other server, copy all the data over, and shut off the Lizard FS array to save some power. So thanks for watching this little setup video of my RAID array, and subscribe for more videos like this.